यो चाहिँ सी लायन थिएटर
So here is the gorgeous bounty. As absolutely you guys know the difference between seals and sea lions. I'm going to teach you those differences because even though it's over the door, it's on the stage, people keep calling them some very strange things. Our sea lions have been called giant rocks and whales. It makes them very sad as they get called sea lions. Oh dear. He doesn't like that. It was quite rude that. I won't repeat what you said, but that was not very nice. He doesn't like it. So we're going to make sure that you guys know the differences between seals and sea lions. Now our first difference is quite tough to spot, but you get to do mine and Amy's favourite thing. Just going to stare at Bounty's head. Because what you're looking for is these little sticky out things. They're called his ears. They stick out kind of like Shrek. He's not green, doesn't smell like onions, just smells like fish. But those ears mean that he is a sea lion. Looking at a seal, all you would see is little holes in the side of their heads because their ears are internal. Now I understand that's quite tough to spot, so we're going to move on to our next difference, which is how they move on land. Now, sea lions are incredibly flexible. When they're moving, they actually move all four flippers tucked underneath them. They're incredibly agile. So here you'll see Bounty going up the tower, moving on all those four flippers. They have a rotating hip joint. When he gets to the end, we need to give him a big cheer. So give him a big cheer, guys. We can do better than that. Big cheer.
Yeah.
Good job, very nice. Now, obviously, that's how a sea lion moves. Now, we don't have any seals here at the park, but our sea lions are really, really great at doing impressions. So, Bounty's going to show you his impression of a seal. He does get a little embarrassed by this because they're actually that agile. When they're moving, they're not very elegant. They move with a fixed hip joint, kind of like a slug or a caterpillar, just like this. It's not great. I can see why they get a little upset being called seals. You really can. Now, our second difference is the size of their flippers. Now, if you're a human in the audience, I was going to say adults, but got lots of kids here, so you can all get involved. Stick your arms out in front of you like this, and have a little look at your hands. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get your hand, you're just going to stick it at the face of the person next to you, just rub your hand in their face. They're not going to mind, rub each hand. Once you've done that, you can compare your hand to the size of Bounty's flipper as he comes along. So you can see as he's coming along, your hand is about the same size as a seal's flipper. So actually not that big. Bounty's is 3 times the size of your hand, which is absolutely amazing. Those flippers mean that he can swim up to 25 miles per hour if he's trying to avoid things trying to eat him. But it's usually around sort of 8 to 10. And then he can also propel himself really high. So when they are swimming around, they can actually pull themselves through the water at heights of 3 meters. Hopefully he's going to show you that for you now, guys. So here he comes. Woo! And he's going to head over, fingers crossed, that second one. So give him a great big cheer when he gets up there. Here we go. Woo! Absolutely gorgeous. So there are 3 differences between seals and sea lions. Now I'm going to double check that you were paying attention. After 3, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to scream out the answer. So, what is Bounty? 1, 2, 3, go!
Sea lion.
Sea lion. Bounty's proud of you. Well done, guys. Because you know that in the corners. Sea lion. Now we're going to let Bounty go off. He's going to have a little bit of a nap. I do always say he's going to have a rest. He really doesn't. He's just constantly on the go. He doesn't really like a nap. Although I have seen him having a bit of a sunbathe today, which was nice to see. He had a bit of a chill, which was quite lovely. Now we do have 2 other sea lions. So Bounty is our youngest at 15. We then have Jack, who is 16 years of age. He's our middle child. And then we have Callum, who is 18. Now at the moment, we weigh them every single week, and at the moment, Bounty's sitting at 150.5 kilos, so it's nice and big. Jack sits in at about 130, and Callum is sitting in actually about the same as Bounty at the moment, about 150. Bounty holds his entire weight over his entire body, it's just really long. Whereas when you see Callum, he's got a great big head on him, and that's what we like, really big head. So when he comes out, you will notice that he is absolutely gorgeous though. And when he does certain behaviours, he gets a couple of triple chins, and it's just adorable. It's the best thing you can see all day. Now, if you have just joined us, guys, you can come in, take your seat. You don't have to stand in the doorway if you don't want to. There is seating. It's very comfortable. There is those flippy uppy downy ones. on. So if you stand up and try to sit back down again, you will just fall, so just be careful. Now, we are going to introduce you to all 3 of our sea lions, and we will see who's coming next. It's going to be Callum. Now, as I said, he is our eldest, but he is a bit of a deep. Guys, I want you to welcome him to the stage with a great big cheer, because he just loves the attention. So, here he comes, guys, and you see there he is, the cheer. Yeah. Genuinely just thinks you're here to see him, we're not going to lie to you. Now, what we're going to do first is say a lovely little hello, so give him a wave, guys, say hi.
Hello. Huh?
It is a very subtle wave, we are aware. Now, what Callum is going to do today, he's going to show you guys why we do our training. A lot of people just assume that it's to entertain all of you, but it's not. Sorry to burst your bubbles. We want to make sure that our boys are fit, healthy, and their brains are being challenged. Every single day, we do health checks with them. We can get them to open their mouths so we can check their teeth. We're also going to look at their breath while we're there. We can see what they're feeling like. We can have a little look at their face, check their eyes. All our sea lions are actually trained to take eye drops as well, so they will stay nice and still so we can pop those in. We can also just get completely hands-on with them. We're checking them for any lumps and bumps, any cuts and things like that. In all honesty, Callum just thinks he's having a bit of a spa day at this point. Flippers and things like that, so we can check them, make sure they're looking really nice, look at those chins. That face, so cute. Now, if you did have any concerns, we can actually call out our on-site vet who will come over and check them. But they don't like them on the stand like this because sea lions are very, very flexible. They can flip their head all the way back, just like that. So instead, our vets have asked that our sea lions would be nice, lay down, nice and still on the ground, like a giant sausage, just like this. Nice and flat. Now at that point, when our vets come down, they can do ultrasounds, x-rays, get stethoscopes on them, they can check them over generally, take blood from the back flippers, and the sea lions will stay lovely and still. Now, Callum has done a great job, so let's give him a round of applause for his hand check. Very good. Now we always want to make sure that he's enjoying himself. Exercise can be a little bit boring, we always want to make sure he's having fun with it. So we're going to let him play with his favourite thing, a basketball. Now, a little warning, he hasn't done it in a few days, so probably due one. It's possible that this ball may come over the glass. If it does, protect your face. It does come over from time to time. Now, this basketball is his favourite thing to play with. He absolutely loves it. He loves bouncing it around, swimming about. It's great for him because it's giving him good exercise, it's getting him moving around.
No.
But it's actually working his whiskers. He's got 76 of them, they're incredibly sensitive. They pick up vibrations in the water. So when he's moving around, if you had a camera on his face, you'd actually see the whiskers shuffling forwards. It's really, really cool. And he is using those to sense where everything is, but he's also just having a great time. It's a full body workout, it's getting him swimming, getting him using his eyesight as well, and he does a really good job. He brought it back, so let's give him a round of applause. Very good. Now we can challenge those whiskers a little bit more by using a set of fireflies. Sorry. Now what we're going to do is quite complicated this, because what he has to do is to challenge his brain a little bit more, because he has to stay nice and still on the stand as all the rings go into the water. Then Amy will head back to him, so off the stand to go collect them. Now all of them are slightly different colours, so you'll see that they're all different colours, and that can be a little bit more difficult for them to spot. So it does make it slightly harder for him, so it just gets that level of challenge up there, which is really great for him. So off he goes, he's got to collect every single one. Now normally what happens is he puts a few in his mouth first off, basically thinks they're donuts, and then he pops them over his head. So he's got the first one over his head, and he's working his way round. Now he's quite good at this because you can see the cogs working. He's going, I can't fit two in my mouth, so I have to pop it over my head. And then he gets the last one and he's back. Very good job. Give him a round. Very well deserved. Beautiful. Very good job. Now Callum has done a really great job there, so we're going to let him go off and have a bit of a rest as the sequels start to come in. And we'll bring out our third and final sea lion for you. And with this gorgeous weather, Jack has been spotted pretty much all the six up there, and Lady Leisure absolutely loves it.